President F.W. de Klerk's fundamental and extensive policy shift took the breath away of Nobel Peace Laureate Desmond Tutu. An elated Tutu had expected de Klerk to deliver something, but not quite the package he did.
Incredible. And I want to give him a warm tribute because he has gone a very long way to delivering what we had hoped for. And the new South Africa seems just around there.
But Tutu didn't advocate the relaxation or lifting of sanctions against South Africa. Big business hoped the normalization of politics would remove South Africa's pariah status, isolation and disinvestment. Within a week of de Klerk's seminal speech, Reserve Bank Governor Chris Stolz said the country's foreign exchange reserves had increased by 1.5 billion rands. The late ANC leader Walter Sisulu welcomed de Klerk's progressive steps to legalize South Africa's political organizations and suspend executions by hanging. But Sisulu had wanted much more.
There's no reason why Nelson Mandela was not released. It would have added to the weight of the decision they had taken. We are unable to understand why the state of emergency was not lifted. We also fail to understand why withdrawing the troops in the township should have been left alone.
The Conservative Party immediately threatened to mobilize white resistance because, in its words, de Klerk had awoken the tiger in the Afrikaner. The late CP leader, Dr. Andries Treinicht, moved a motion of no confidence in Parliament. Conservative parliamentarian Skalk Pienaar complained that the National Party had deviated from its electoral mandate.
The tiger is an extremely disgusted and disillusioned one. The shock announcements made by Mr. de Klerk in allowing not only the ANC but its master, the SA Communist Party, to freely take part in political activity in South Africa is that they want to get into bed with the ANC.
Zambian President Kenneth Kaunda, who was down with flu, congratulated de Klerk on a job well started, but not well done yet.
Fantastic. He has cleared most of the obstacles which were keeping South Africans away from each other. Hopefully and prayerfully, he will now follow this matter up by inviting all those concerned to start earnest dialogue.
South Africa's international relations improved drastically. United Nations Secretary-General Javier Perez de Cuellar likened de Klerk's far-reaching reforms to celestial music and hoped they were the beginning of the end of apartheid. The American administration of President George Bush Sr. said it would review its sanctions policy. But first it wanted to see a free Mandela and fulfilled promises. British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher said South Africa had taken a major step forward. Her country would no longer discourage its artists, scientists and academics from visiting South Africa.
The approach that Britain has taken, which is not one of isolating South Africa, but keeping contact with her and talking to her, of not having comprehensive sanctions, is now paying off.
Welsh Labour politician Neil Kinnock simply said, pressure pays, but pleasure at the changes must be mixed with impatience for more. Denmark, Norway and Sweden, where the late ANC leader Oliver Tambo was recuperating from a stroke, said no one should relax until apartheid was history. I'm Angie Kaplianis in Johannesburg.